Hello, this is Donna Tushaw for Donna Tea Crafting, and I'm here today going to make some cards with Pixi Dust Designs. I'm going to use this Poppy die set from Pixi Dust Designs, and it cuts out these wonderful poppies for my card. I'm also going to use two new cover plates from the release, the Damask background and the Elegant Lattice background. I've gone ahead and cut out a lot of my poppy pieces. I cut out a couple of the background, I call it background pieces for my poppies, and I did two for each and stacked them so they're a little stronger on this. Then the actual poppies I'm doing in this dark kind of plum color. The base part of that is a darker color, and then the accent pieces are a little bit lighter. So I have the darker as the base pieces and then a little bit lighter as those accent pieces. And then they're going to have black centers. If I would have probably changed it up a little bit, I might have added orange or something, but I used black on this card. Now I'm going to try to add some ink just so that it's a little darker on the edges of these flowers. I used a dark kind of purplish color, but you could have used like a gray or something like that to make it even darker. For my leaves, I have a couple of different colors here that I cut out. I was going to try both. And I'm just going to take some green ink, it's whatever was left on my blending brush, and add some color on the sides of these leaves to add some dimension. And then when I lay them out, I'll decide which ones I really want to use. So the first thing to assemble these poppies is I'm going to do the center on these. And I'm adding my glue to my black center. I'll lay that down and then I'll add the rest of the pieces to this first little poppy. So I add the center here. You can see it, if you were up close to it, you could see where it was embossed when it was die cut, where that center kind of goes. And then the accent piece will cover that up just a little bit at the bottom of that. So then you just have the little accent piece that you add on the bottom. Like I said, these are just a little bit lighter than the base piece, so it kind of makes it nice. You've got a little darker on the back and then lighter in the front. That's a lot of times how I shade my flowers anyway. And excuse my head, I had to kind of get over it so I could see where the pieces were going. So that's all I had to do to assemble that flower. That's the smaller flower of the two flowers in the set. And then there's the larger, which I assembled off camera. Then I'm taking just one of my green Copic markers and I am adding that to the stem because there's nothing to cover this stem. I could have cut it in green, but I just decided to add the green Copic to this. And then since I have this stacked, I didn't want my white to show on the sides. So I went along and added green along the sides so that it covered up any white. And now I've got my assembled pieces on the flowers and I'm adding those to the base pieces. And I did go around the base pieces with a purple or plum color as well on that white. And I did pick the all green leaves for the leaves to use on this. And I went around those as well with the green on the edges so that that wouldn't show white either. So there you have the flowers assembled. I did die cut this damask background. I cut it in some white glitter paper, and then I have a background panel which is black with some solar spray, Pity Party solar spray on it. I've added foam tape. Oh, I added acetate, and then I added foam tape to this top part, and I'm adding some silver sequins, silver and clear sequins that I'm going to add in there, and I'm going to make this into a shaker. So I'm adding that. I added foam tape all around the edges and a few places in the middle. So the sequins might get trapped just kind of at the top or in between some of those, but that's okay because I don't want the sequins to all fall to the bottom every time. So it's okay that those little pieces of foam tape are all throughout that full piece. I added them in the middle some so that it would have some support and would not sag in the middle. So once I take the backers off of this, I can add that on top of my black panel that has been sprayed with a solar spray. And You won't see much of that background panel, but I think it will add a little bit of a hint of that pink showing through. And actually I said add it on top of. I'm going to take the black and put that onto my foam tape here because I don't want to pick up this top part because it already has the sequence in it. So I'm just going to take my black panel and put that over it. If I do miss a little bit and have some black showing, I can trim that once I'm done. So I don't have to be worried about being absolutely perfect. I can trim that back once this is on because this will also go on a card base. So any extra foam tape hanging over, it's okay. It can go on the card base and it'll be fine. And then, like I said, any of the black hanging out, I can trim that down as well. So I get it stuck really good. And there I have my little shaker part. Then I'm just adding all of my flower pieces. I cut a couple of the leaves off. I didn't quite need them with everything. And then adding quite a bit of glue and then holding it down really well since it is being adhered to some glitter stock. I think these flowers are just beautiful. I think it turns out great on this white background. But you've got all that extra uh, prettiness with that cover plate. I decided to make another quick card. I had made some red poppies, which I think are beautiful, made them the same way as the other ones. I took the Elegant Lattice and cut that in black glitter stock. I cut part of it off because I accidentally, well, I didn't accidentally, I ran my uh, die cut through my machine twice and it kind of got off center. So only part of my die cut looked nice, but I put that over vellum and then laid that on top of some blue glitter stock. Then I'm just adding my red poppies on that. I think it turned out as a good background. And then I just grabbed some sentiments from my stash. I usually have some strip sentiments made from all different types of wishes, either happy birthday, happy anniversary, congratulations, with sympathy. I just have a whole bunch of those always in my stash so I can quickly add those to a card when I need them. A lot of times I'll make the card and not even put the strip sentiment on until I actually know what I want to use the card for. So I'm going to glue this one on the blue card and I added the other one with a little bit of foam tape. Um, and then I didn't put all foam tape all the way across because I didn't want it to cover the stems because it would have been too high up. So I'm adding these sentiments. Got the one on the blue card, holding it down for a little bit since it's going on glitter. And there you go. Two beautiful poppy cards with these great new cover plates. Love the Elegant Lattice and the damask backgrounds that are now out and available for purchase. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.